February 23, 2020. A sunny Sunday afternoon in coastal Georgia. A 25-year-old black man goes out for his regular jog through the neighborhood just 2 miles from his home. Within minutes, he's being hunted by 3 white men in pickup trucks. Within 5 minutes, he's dead, shot 3 times with a shotgun. For 74 days, his killers walked free. No arrests, no charges, nothing, until a video leaked online and the world saw what really happened. This is the story of Ahmaud Arbery and how America watched a modern-day lynching unfold in broad daylight. Ahmaud Marquez Arbery was born May 8, 1994, in Brunswick, Georgia. His friends called him Maud or Quez. He was a star linebacker at Brunswick High School, known for his speed and agility. After graduating in 2012, he attended South Georgia Technical College, training to become an electrician. But he had to pause his studies to work in his father's car wash and landscaping business, saving money to go back to school. He had plans. He had a future. Ahmaud lived in Fancy Bluff, a traditionally black neighborhood just across Highway 17 from Satilla Shores, a predominantly white subdivision. The distance? Less than 2 miles. Close enough to jog between them. Which is exactly what Ahmaud did. Regularly. Because unless it was pouring rain, Ahmaud was running. That's what his friends remember most. His friend Demetrist Frazier said, "Ahmaud is very humble, very inspiring. He was always running." On February 23, 2020, that run became a death sentence. Let's walk through what happened that Sunday afternoon, minute by minute. 1 p.m., security cameras capture Ahmaud jogging through Satilla Shores. He briefly enters a house under construction on Satilla Drive. The owner, Larry English, later confirmed Ahmaud took nothing and caused no damage. He walked around, looked at the interior. Minutes later, a neighbor calls 911. There's a black male running down the street. Not, there's a burglar. Not, someone breaking in. Just, there's a black male running. 1:08 p.m. Gregory McMichael, a 64-year-old former cop and retired investigator for the Brunswick DA's office, sees Ahmaud jogging past his house. He assumes Ahmaud is responsible for recent break-ins in the area. No evidence. No proof. Just an assumption. He yells to his 34-year-old son, Travis McMichael, "Get the guns." The McMichaels grab a .357 Magnum revolver and a shotgun. They jump into their white pickup truck and begin chasing Ahmaud. Their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, sees the chase and joins his own truck. For the next 5 minutes, 2 pickup trucks hunt Ahmaud through the neighborhood. They use their vehicles to block his path, cut him off, trap him. Ahmaud has no weapon, no phone. He's wearing a white t-shirt, khaki shorts, and running shoes. He's trying to escape. 1:13 p.m. The McMichaels' truck cuts him off for the final time. Travis McMichael steps out with the shotgun raised. Ahmaud has nowhere to run. He makes a split-second decision to try to defend himself, to fight for his life. A physical struggle. Then, 3 shotgun blasts. Ahmaud is hit twice in the chest. He stumbles, falls, dies in the middle of the street. Roddy Bryan recorded it all on his cell phone. Every second. Here's the part that should shock you. After Ahmaud was killed, police arrived within minutes. They talked to Gregory McMichael, the former cop. They talked to Travis. They talked to Roddy Bryan. And then, they let them go. No arrests. Gregory McMichael told police they were making a citizen's arrest because they thought Ahmaud was a burglar. That was enough. For 74 days, more than 2 months, Ahmaud's killers walked free. Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson, who had worked with Gregory McMichael for years, recused herself but didn't immediately pass the case to another prosecutor. The next DA, George Barnhill, wrote a letter saying the McMichaels were justified and had committed no crime. He later recused himself too. Turns out his son worked in the same DA's office as Gregory. A third prosecutor, Tom Durden, took over and did nothing for weeks. Ahmaud's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, kept calling, kept asking, "Where are the arrests?" She was ignored. Then, on May 5, 2020, 74 days after Ahmaud's death, the video leaked online. Roddy Bryan's cell phone footage. And America exploded. The video showed exactly what happened. 3 white men chasing down an unarmed black man, cornering him, shooting him dead. It looked like a lynching, because that's exactly what it was. The outrage was instant. Protests erupted across the country. On May 8, what would have been Ahmaud's 26th birthday, people around the world ran 2.23 miles in his honor. The hashtag trended worldwide. Celebrities, athletes, politicians, everyone demanded justice. Joe Biden called it a lynching in broad daylight. The pressure became impossible to ignore. So who are the 3 men who killed Ahmaud Arbery? Gregory McMichael, 64. He spent decades in law enforcement. He worked as a Glynn County police officer from 1982 to 1989, then as an investigator for the Brunswick DA's office from 1995 until he retired in May 2019, just 9 months before killing Ahmaud. In 2018, he was involved in a shoplifting investigation involving Ahmaud Arbery. He knew who Ahmaud was. Travis McMichael, 34, Gregory's son, former U.S. Coast Guard. On social media, Travis had posted about thieves needing to be made an example of. In January 2019, when a neighbor worried about how her father might react to catching a thief, Travis responded, "That's what this world needs more of. My old man is the same way. Hell, I'm getting that way." William Roddy Bryan, 50, their neighbor. He recorded the killing. He claimed he was just a witness, but prosecutors proved he actively participated, using his truck to block Ahmaud's escape routes multiple times. Their defense? They suspected Ahmaud was responsible for burglaries in the neighborhood. But here's the truth. There were only 3 incidents reported in Satilla Shores between December 2019 and January 2020. None involved Ahmaud. The only thing they knew about him, he was a black man running. On May 7, 2020, 2 days after the video leaked, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation arrested Gregory and Travis McMichael. They were charged with murder and aggravated assault. On May 21, Roddy Bryan was arrested too. But the real reckoning was just beginning. Georgia's Attorney General requested the FBI investigate not just the murder, but the massive failure of local prosecutors. How did 3 district attorneys look at this case and decide no crime had been committed? In September 2021, Brunswick DA Jackie Johnson was indicted for showing favor and affection to Gregory McMichael during the investigation and for obstructing justice by directing that Travis not be arrested. She violated her oath. She tried to protect her former colleague. November 2021, the murder trial began in Brunswick. The jury, 11 white jurors and 1 black juror. Critics called it a Jim Crow jury. The defense used its strikes to remove nearly all black potential jurors. For nearly 3 weeks, America watched. The defense tried to paint Ahmaud as a criminal, recurring trespasser with long, dirty toenails. Yes, the defense attorney actually said that. Wanda Cooper-Jones, Ahmaud's mother, walked out of the courtroom in tears. But the evidence was overwhelming. The video. The 911 calls. Travis McMichael's own testimony admitting Ahmaud never threatened him, never displayed a weapon. November 24, 2021, the day before Thanksgiving, the jury delivered its verdict. All 3 men guilty of murder. Travis McMichael, guilty on all 9 counts. Gregory McMichael, guilty on 8. Roddy Bryan, guilty on 6. They were all sentenced to life in prison. But it wasn't over. In 2022, the U.S. Department of Justice brought federal hate crime charges against all 3 men. The question, did they chase and kill Ahmaud because he was black? The prosecution introduced evidence that yes, race was the driving factor. Text messages and social media posts from Travis McMichael using racial slurs. Messages calling black people criminals and savages. Travis had texted a friend in 2019, "I'd kill that fangy N-word." Roddy Bryan had messages too, referring to black people as monkeys, and worse. The defense argued they weren't motivated by race, they just thought he was a burglar. But prosecutors used the "but for" test. Would they have chased him, but for his race? If Ahmaud had been white, would this have happened? The jury said no. They would not have chased a white jogger. February 22, 2022, almost exactly 2 years after Ahmaud's death, all 3 men were found guilty of federal hate crimes. Additional life sentences. Ahmaud Arbery's murder exposed the darkest truths about race and justice in America. First, the citizen's arrest law. Georgia had a law dating back to the Civil War era allowing private citizens to detain someone if they witnessed a crime. This law was rooted in slave patrol practices. It gave vigilantes legal cover. In May 2021, motivated directly by Ahmaud's killing, Georgia repealed and replaced that law. Now, only witnessed felonies allow citizens arrest, and you can't chase someone down with guns. Second, hate crime laws. When Ahmaud was killed, Georgia was one of 4 states with no hate crime legislation. In June 2020, Georgia passed its first hate crime law. Third, the prosecutorial misconduct. Jackie Johnson's indictment sent a message: prosecutors who protect killers will be held accountable. But here's the uncomfortable truth: if that video hadn't leaked, Gregory, Travis, and Roddy would still be free. They'd be living their lives while Ahmaud's mother buried her son. Think about how many cases don't have video. How many families never get justice. Ahmaud Arbery wanted to be an electrician. He wanted to go back to school. He wanted to keep running because that's what he loved. Instead, he was hunted and killed for the crime of being a black man in the wrong neighborhood. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, said this after the verdict. He will now rest in peace. But his case changed laws. It exposed corruption. It forced America to confront the reality that in 2020, a black man could be lynched in broad daylight and the system would protect his killers. Ahmaud would be 31 years old today. He should be here. If you want to learn more about Ahmaud's legacy, visit the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. If you see injustice, speak up. Record it, share it, because silence protects murderers.